Repeatability testing of the less lethal dynamometer mount by Glenn Conti. Okay, so I want to be able to test the repeatability of the less lethal dynamometer and mount. So what I've done is I've gotten a 40 millimeter steel ball that weighs approximately 7.5 ounces, attached it to a 1 foot steel chain, and mounted that to a wooden bracket to hold the device. Here's the 7.5 ounce ball, 40 millimeter ball. Here's the 1 foot chain, 1 foot from here to here. And I let it go and it hits. So I'm going to take many measurements and come up with a coefficient of variation to determine how repeatable this device is. So I'm going to just do a few for example. So I've set this tripod up so I can drop the ball from approximately the same height. The chain is horizontal every time. 20.5, 0, 21.2, 0, 20.0, 23.4. So you get the idea. I'm going to take a bunch of measurements. I'm going to cut the video, turn the power off, cut the video, and then bring up the data. Thank you. Okay, so I took 40 measurements in 3 different positions. Mid-disc, then I've raised the ball by 2.5 inches, took 40 more measurements, and then raised the ball by another 2.5 inches and took 40 more measurements. So a total of 120 measurements. And then I calculated the average standard deviation and the coefficient of variation for each of the 3 positions. Okay, so the here you can see the average at mid-disc was 22.28 newtons with a coefficient of variation of 11.7%. When I raised the ball by 2.5 inches, the average did not go up by that much, 23.13 versus 22.29. So it's essentially the same. That's within the tolerance here. The standard deviation was about the same, and the coefficient of variation was about the same, 13.7. So my comments are that the measurement device is fairly repeatable to industrial standards of around 10 to 15%. I'm getting 11.7 to 13.7% repeatability, a variance in the repeatability. Now, when I raise the ball another 2.5 inches, so now we're 5 inches from center, the average did go up significantly. It went from about 23 newtons to about 30 newtons. So we're looking at about, what is that? That's probably 20%, 30% more higher reading than you get if you're roughly in the center of the disc or slightly above the center of the disc, a couple inches above the center of the disc. The coefficient of variation was 9.2%. So, we're getting good repeatability. However, I would say that we would need to have the shots more towards the center area of the disc. If we get too far towards the edge of the top edge of the disc, leverage effect might be occurring, causing the Newton reading to be higher. I am going to be experimenting with adding a brace to the top of the back of the mount to see if I can lower that increase in the reading that I got, the 30% increase in the reading from the same exact steel ball. So if I buttress the back of the disc with some sort of L bracket, I may be able to do that. But in the meantime, all the shots should be located around the center of the disc or slightly above it, 2 or 3 inches above it. I would love to see someone else adopt this dynamometer and come up with their own mount or copy my design, doesn't matter. But I'd like to see some independent verification that we can quantify impact force using a dynamometer. Thank you. This is the dynamometer I got at Amazon. It was about $60, and I had to design my own mount for it, but there it is. You just want to. It's a push-pull dynamometer, and you want to be able to measure the amount of newtons of force with this device. Thank you.